Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now, today we're going to take a look at some mansions. Well, I'll say mansions. I'll just say, some cheap gaffs in Dubai, shall we say, for when the bull market does eventually pay out. No, I'm only kidding, guys. We're a long way off yet. We are literally at the precipice of the bull market going. But yeah, it's nice to have a look at some like sort of expensive properties, apartments over in Dubai, just to keep yourself, I believe in all that manifestation, that self-fulfilling prophecy, a bit like what Deontay Wilder says, where he says, believe it, say it, achieve it, somewhere along those lines anyway. But look at these gaffs, they're absolutely remarkable. Look at State. Oh, do you know what? I'll tell you what, how the other half live. Unbelievable. That's all you need. There's only myself. I haven't got any family or anything like that. So something like that would be nice. And then you can go out whining and dining around Marina up to Dubai, Burj Khalifa and all that. So yeah, downtown Dubai, that looks all right to me. So yeah, anyway, let's stop dreaming for now. We've got XRP, the likes of Gala, Hedera, XDC, Quant, Velo, all to pump before we get to that sort of stage. So yeah, let's have a look at it. 7-day filter. Here we go. XRP and Gala are still up on the weekly despite the downturn in the market recently. On the 24-hour, XRP's the best performer in the shortlist right now. And then on the hour, again, XRP doing all right. We're trading at approximately 54 cents. Okay, so Gala's the first one up as we come across to trading view here. Now I've just put on these like simple moving averages. So we got the 50-day, 100-day, and the 200-day here. Now what I've noticed is the green sort of moving average here. That's the 50-day, and then you got the blue moving average as well. That's 100-day. So it looks as if we're going to get a crossover here, which is bullish news for Gala. Okay, moving average crossovers do work pretty well, but I'm under no illusion. We're currently printing a doji candle here on the weekly. I still expect us to bounce into the apex leading up to the US elections, personally, where the price, if you was to get in Gala, that would be a really, really good buy, in my opinion, down at 0.0172. That sort of mark anyway. So yeah, it's about a 10%, 10-15% dip is the risk involved here. I'd say somewhere around there. So about 15%. So I'm happy to lose 15% of my capital over the next few weeks. I'm not really bothered. Like I said, I've got a little bit of savings tucked in to get myself to the US elections, after the elections, up until the end of the year. Again, we're quite accounting for Christmas as well. If we're sending any parcels, gifts out, nights out, family meals, whatever. So yeah, that's a risk involved, and then obviously from US elections, that gives the altcoin season license to run. Where, like, first and foremost, this sort of target here. So let's just mark up, say, from current price action, that's around a 300% move. That's pretty wild, that. If we was to bring it down to the apex, like I said, where I expect us to get to, well, you know what? Even though it's only a 15% dip, look how massive that, how much gains you get. You get like an extra 80% back. So, but last thing I want to do is start trading now, because like if you're dealing with large amounts of capital, you're leaving yourself room for error. It's all right if you got like $5, $6, $7, $800 or whatever like that, but as soon as you're dealing with tens of thousands of dollars, I feel like you're best off just setting, forgetting, as long as you're buying around the sort of lows. But like I said, if you've got new capital coming in, that's where I'd be buying optimum price. I was a little bit impatient, as much as I've got a lot of experience, got over 10 years experience in the markets. I'm still impatient. I want to be involved. I hate sitting out of crypto now. I've got nothing in the bank, because I literally just go all in on this sort of stuff, and I do trade, but ultimately, you miss the markets. It's weird, because a lot of people, like, if they've got big capitals, they can't sleep at night. I find it bizarre. I sleep like a baby. Like, I remember once upon a time, I fucking lost tons, and I still slept, because I knew ultimately, if you've got enough capital to get you by, you're not having to withdraw from your sort of main bags, your capital, then you're going to be fine. So it's only people that are over leveraged or over invested that are going to have those sleepless nights. Again, it all just comes down to psychology, but ultimately, that's the sort of There we go. You can see that. Why has that gone all the way down my screen? That's not good, is it? Because it's something like that. So let's scroll out here, make this chart a little bit bigger for you guys. So this is going from the apex. So from the apex, I don't feel like there's a lot of risk here. You can see this liquidation spike here. So that took out all those lows down there. I can't see us wicking down there. Most we can wick down is to these sort of weekly candles down here, in my opinion. So if you was to, that was about 6-7% if you was to buy it. Just before the US elections, in my view, probably the best time to buy. And like I said, you're probably buying about 10-15% lower than current market value. However, having said that, Gala is looking really positive. Like I said, these moving averages look to be converging. We're currently printing a doji candle, and we're currently making higher lows as well. So we've got a low here, and then we've dipped again. Another low, and then we've dipped again, made another low. So there's 3 higher lows there. So that, in my opinion, looks bullish for Gala. So we could make a run up prior to US elections, and then after the US elections, we could actually tag this down here and could maybe wick down. So who knows what's going to happen in the interim? But my outlook over the sort of macro scale, which is what a lot of my charting is all to do with, is a sort of macro aspect going into the bull market. So last thing I want to be doing is selling going into a bull market. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm willing to take that 10-15% hit ultimately. So let's go across. Again, Gala is the biggest gainer here in the charts, or on the shortlist on TradingView. Dogecoin up, XDC, XRP. Let's have a quick look, because a lot of people's rotating out of XRP into XDC when I was actually, covering the charts here at the apex. I said XDC is due to outperform XRP, and that's exactly what it's done. But you can see the resistance here, so that will be the sort of final hurdle, in my opinion, for XDC to begin really outperforming XRP. Again, XDC is a lot lower market cap than what XRP is, which is why I believe XDC will probably outperform. It's just common sense, isn't it? It doesn't take as much capital to come into the market for XDC as it would for XRP to get like a similar, 10, 20, 30% move, for example. So that's where we are. Yes, there's not really a lot of volume coming in the market for XDC, but it's a sleeping giant. They're going to go incognito. They're going to keep the project as stealth as possible. They're going to bore as many retail investors out as possible. There's a lot of XDC people in the community keep calling for XDC to be listed on like exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, some other sort of large exchanges as well. And I don't quite understand why, because retail traders have never had any sort of impact upon any cryptocurrencies. The retail are there to be dumped on, and this is what this channel is all about, is to prepare you guys so you aren't part of that sort of cannon fodder. We aren't sheep being lured here to slaughter. There will be big listings like Binance, Coinbase, etc. once it comes around to selling, because retail are basically our exit liquidity, and that's where you need to get your mindset out of this. We are no longer retail, we are no longer cannon fodder. This is why I've got the XDC and XRP prints over here over on theblockbulls.com. You can access the link down below in the description. So I've got a full-on plan here, and that entitles you to a full plan. So you get the breakout sort of moves, and then you'll get like interim sort of targets. So you're actually locking in profits, because unrealized profits are not going to buy you these sort of, marina front apartments. Do you know what I mean? For $6,500. So that's ultimately, because it's a zero-sum game, guys. Someone has got to lose in order for you to win. And I'm on these charts daily. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got 10 years experience in the markets. So whoever's coming in, all these beginners, retail traders, friends and families that are getting in late into the bull market, they haven't got a clue what's going on. They're just seeing everybody else on social media making loads of money. People are posting their portfolios, and they're coming in. They're coming in with their fresh capital, and I'm saying, listen, I'll sell you my bags when XRP's in like triple digits. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just the way the game is. It's a cruel world, but it's unfair. But someone's got to make the bag, and it certainly ain't going to be them. Trust me, because we're ahead of the curve. Let's see where Bitcoin is traveling as well. Let's just make us a little bit bigger, because it all depends on when Bitcoin gets going. So I've still got this fractal here. It looks like, for me, I reckon we're setting a bit of a bear trap here. We could come down and touch this blue sort of macro trend line, in my opinion, before we get that bounce, that breakout. We look to take out these sort of highs up here, and then I feel like we'll get the breakout, retest again after US elections, and around 25th of November, that again is when the altcoin market really gets going, and Bitcoin will follow along for the ride as well. And I believe that sort of first move, wave 3 off 5, would take us up to around that sort of, I'd say approximately about 130k Bitcoin. Okay, so that'll be in the new year. I'd say around sort of the break of New Year, we'll be looking at targeting, certainly through January anyway, we'll definitely be looking to break 100k on Bitcoin. Let's keep going, guys. Where are we now? We've got Quant as well. Let's have a quick touch upon Quant as well. I'll just make it quick as well because these charts are really simple as well. Look at that. That's all self-explanatory in my opinion. You get the breakout, the bounce, the bit of the grind, the fall, the pinball, the breakout, and the retest now. So the retest is crucial now. Are we going to be able to successfully hold the retest and flip this resistance into support? Again, Quant could be an early mover because I did mention in yesterday's video with the likes of XRP and HBAR, I think it was, they could be laggers in the market. Quant is also utility. I would have expected Quant to be lagging behind, but the thing is with Quant, because it's got a unique sort of utility, it almost has to be an early mover in my opinion, and the technical analysis is backing this up. Now, the reason for that is because obviously Quant is like the plumbing because of the interoperability of the Quant sort of cryptocurrency or the token. That basically links everything together. So that has to be in place. That has to have the volume. That has to have the liquidity to actually flow the rest of the utility tokens. For example, like XDC, XRP, HBAR. I won't quite put XDC. I'm a little bit unsure because XDC is in not price discovery, but extended price action, should I say. So let's have a look at XDC actually whilst we're on the topic of it. And we will come back to XRP as well. Where's XDC? Here we go. So you can see how we've actually breached the end of this apex now when we got that main upgrade as well, XDC 2.0. So we've basically got military bentonite security on the protocol now. And we've also got that utility of subnets as well. So you've actually got the security of the mainnet, and you can also create subnets as well. So businesses, institutions, anyone sort of onboarding their sort of their business, they can create a subnet. Now, apparently, these subnets are more secure than the mainnet because it's almost like an extension. So they don't only have to hack the sort of subnet, they also have to hack the mainnet as well in order to like compromise the subnet. So good luck if anyone's going to breach this XDC network because it's an absolute beast. It's a sleeping giant here, and you can see where my green order block here is. I feel like we can get running up any sort of time in this sort of green area. I would take it up to the US elections here with this yellow vertical line, and then look to take out these sort of highs. I want to take out these sort of peaks. This interim high here, or the 23 high, and also the all-time high. I would like to see that happen before the end of the year. Now, if that happens before the end of the year, that will be an absolute gift, and there's every chance that XDC could run up alongside Quant as an early mover, and just simply because XDC is heavily tied to Quant, and as you can see, the T8 is backing that up as well. Now, just out of interest, I may just alter one of these TA lines. Let's move that one out of the way, just to see where these highs go here. Because if we go too far into 2025, we know for a fact that they'll be invalid because there's no chance XDC will stall out, in my opinion. See, that's just not going to happen if I actually line these highs up. That's way too long into 2025 for me. So I do believe XDC has broke out on that sort of previous TA that I've drawn in around here. So there you have it, guys. XDC is looking really, really good now. Again, low volume in the market for XDC, but please do not sleep on XDC. XDC is my biggest holding, and it's the biggest holding for a fact because XDC has got the most ties, the most partnerships. If you know anything about the R3 sort of code, make sure you do your research on that because ultimately the R3 ecosystem is going to take all. You know, it was a two-horse race between Hyperledger Fabric. This is what on the private ledger before XRP then implemented the sort of private ledger themselves. But in between Hyperledger Fabric and the R3 Corda. So it was literally a two-horse race, and they've already picked the winners. Obviously, DTC as the process is 2.44 quadrillion, and we know XDC is a primary settlement token for the R3 Corda ecosystem. So you know what, XDC is going to get a massive slice of the pie, and not many people know about that. I feel like a lot of people only know about it because me myself, and some other sort of crypto influencers, I had a go at Quincy Jones back in the day, because initially before I even started my YouTube channel, I was in XDC and I accumulated a lot of it. I was getting in under 1 cent, and Quincy come out of nowhere, and I actually followed the guy. He actually deleted his channel. I think he was called Matty G TV, and he deleted his YouTube channel. Okay, I used to watch Matty G because it was funny. He used to just take the mickey out of everything. He used to take the mickey out of other YouTubers, took the mickey out of the politicians and like the likes of like Jerome Powell and Gary Gensler. It was funny. Do you know what I mean? He's very, very unique, and there's not a lot of people that'd say what he said on camera. Do you know what I mean? In front of a large audience, but somehow he managed to get Quincy Jones onto his channel. And this was before Quincy Jones actually worked for XDC Network. So that was absolutely wild back in the day. And that's how Quincy Jones basically become famous, because a lot of other YouTubers, larger accounts, started nicking Matty G sort of content with Quincy Jones featuring on it. So yeah, a bit of history there with Quincy Jones. He let the cat out of the bag, and then, you know, it's almost like getting a toothpaste back in the tube, as Brad Garlinghouse would say. Do you know what I mean? Once the cat's out of the bag, it's out. So yeah, XDC is just class. But Velo here, Velo looking really, really good. Again, this is very self-explanatory. We're going to the candles here. We've got this green order block. So this for me is this sort of first sort of target area, up around about 3.5 cents, up to about just shy of 5 cents. So that's the order block anyway. But we do have resistance. You can see resistance here with the blue trend line. Again, this is acting as support. We have had a couple of fake outs to the downside here, but ultimately Velo has been one on its own, in the fact that really it's been in a bull market, technically speaking, since the beginning of January 2023. Okay, because this marked the bottom, and ever since, yes, we have seen massive corrections, but ultimately, look at this, we've been grinding up. We even get like another sort of impulse to the upside, another correction, but support is held beautifully, and then we're up again. So this is a battle going on this week anyway, guys. So what I'll do is line wins marker. You can see why this yellow line is significant for the Velo price action, because it marks out the sort of impulse coming out of the bottom of the charts here. Okay, so that was like an interim high. That would also be the 23 high as well. So that is significant. Again, as I've explained in other videos, we got the breakout. We failed to hold the yellow line of support. So we failed, got the bounce. Are we going to fail again, or is Velo going to succeed? It's a tough one, really. Who knows? I can go into like sort of lower time frames, but is Velo going to be an early mover or a lagger? You could argue we could lag. If you're going off this trend line, for example, we could fall down, fail, bounce, and then go to the end of the year. So I'm not 100% sure with Velo. I don't mind holding my hands up on some cryptos, even though I do hold Velo. Whether or not it's going to be an early mover is debatable, in my opinion. So I'll leave that, guys, for you to decide. But ultimately, what we're looking for is this week is to get a close. If we do get a close on Sunday this weekend, above the yellow line, then arguably, obviously, it'll be looking more favourable for Velo to become an early mover, and then we'll be looking at getting to the top of these trend lines. I feel like we've had two bounces here, so we get that one bounce, two bounce. So for me, we don't really have to come down to this sort of blue trend line again, in my opinion, but that's not to say it can't happen. So this is why I got to cover all bases, guys. So that is Velo. Let's go over to XRP. Last one now, because we're running up to around that 20-minute mark now in terms of streaming this video. So again, we got not US, but we got the Bitcoin halving here, which happened on the 19th of April. These are weekly charts, hence why it's marked on the closest Monday. I'll just show you guys. Listen, if I move it around, stuck on a Monday, so that's that explained. Anyhow, 36 weeks after gives us the apex, which is where I expect XRP to move. I also showed you guys in previous videos how in the 16, 17, well, this infamously, XRP is renowned for the super cycle in the 17-18 cycle, but all this sort of price action played out prior to XRP running up that 60,000%. So we did get fake outs, we did pinball, we had many of fake outs, but I think ultimately we did break out and then grind down the wedge as well at some point in the previous super cycle, like I said, 17-18. But ultimately, I'm not looking for XRP to move anytime soon. I kind of want to be in like 32, somewhere in that sort of region, 32 to 35 weeks, and then at least I'm prepared for XRP to move. But ultimately, I'm looking at riding Gala. I want to get this breakout. I want to get to US elections, and then for me, US elections, like I said, that is a license to run, and that is when we collect our cheddar. So yeah, that is pretty much the charts here today, guys. I shall see you next week. Have a great weekend, guys. If you're not already subs, make sure sub, like, share, subscribe, do what you gotta do. And if you need an XRP plan, again, link is down below in the description, and the XDC one is also there, guys. So take it easy. I've been the Block Bull, over and out.